Democrats passionately arguing for the return of Venezuelan gang members to spite Trump. Average Americans want these people removed. And this is another 80-20 issue. So if you find yourself in the position of trying to justify why these people shouldn't be kicked out, you're going to lose. You have signed up to lose. That's it. You've signed up to be a loser. Bro's rushing with a sniper scope? Yeah, I mean, bro, like, if you're going to go in first, you're going to try to rush B or 301 with an op? Come on. It's embarrassing. Okay, at least he waits. Who the fuck wants to defend behavior like this, though? Well, apparently a judge blocked the blocked this from happening. Trump ignored the judge and sent him back. Check out the El Salvador president tweet about it. Today? Wait, what? Wait, so we sent him anyway? He didn't even give a fuck. So, today, the first 238 members of the Venezuelan criminal organization, Tren de Aragua, arrived in our country. They were immediately transferred to CCOT, the Terrorism Confinement Center, for a period of 1 year that is renewable. The United States will pay a very low fee for them, but a high one for us. Over time, these actions, combined with the production of already being... So El Salvador is like... They're like the prison... They're like the new Australia, basically. He responded to the judge and said, too late, is it? Yeah, I'll watch the video. Over time, these actions combined with the production of already being generated of 40,000 inmates engaged in various workshops and labor under the zero idleness... So Trump is sending these illegals over to El Salvador to make them fucking slaves. Just put them in work camps. Oh my god. And this will help our prison system become self-sustainable. As of today, it costs $200 million a year. So they're trying to make them work to... Oh my god. On this occasion, the U.S. has also sent us 23 MS-13 members wanted by Salvadoran justice, including 2 ringleaders. One of them is a member of the criminal organization's highest structure. This will help us finalize intelligence gathering and go after the last remnants of MS-13, including its former and new members, money, drugs, weapons, hideouts, collaborators, and sponsors. As always, we continue advancing in the fight against organized crime, but this time we are also helping our allies, making our prison system self-sustainable and obtaining vital intelligence to make our country an even safer place, all in a single action. May God bless El Salvador, and may God bless the United States. This is crazy because, like, back whenever, like, even 10 years ago, before this guy took over, like, the country that I would use as an example of a dangerous place was El Salvador. I would be like, oh yeah, like, oh, dangerous places in South America, El Salvador, right? It was a PvP server. This guy totally rewrote the rules. He did. And by the way, just keep in mind, we just got done, I want y'all to just look at this. Give me a minute. This guy's approval rating. %91. Keep in mind what Trump's approval rating is. They fucking love him. It turns out when you put all the criminals in jail, crime doesn't happen as much. Duh. What if they're not all criminals? Oh, I bet they're not. I bet there's probably some innocent people in there for sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's just what happens. So you look at it like this. There's innocent people that get put in jail, and there's innocent people that get hurt by crime. You will always have collateral damage. Trying to use that as an excuse to do nothing, that's emotional reasoning. Of course you're going to hurt people that are innocent. Of course. Does that mean you just don't do anything? It's opportunity cost. Yeah, you got to crack a few eggs. That's the case in every country. Yeah, it's retardation. Yeah. We do the same thing, by the way. Do you think every single person in jail here is supposed to be in jail? Fuck no, they're not. Every single jail has people that are in the jail that shouldn't be there. This isn't some kind of like, yeah, this is, it's just emotional reasoning. Of course you're going to have bad things like that. You honestly sound insane. The reason why I sound insane is I say the truth without being apologetic. The fact is that people like to talk around negative side effects to pretend like they don't exist. I don't. Yeah, there will be innocent people that'll be negatively affected, absolutely. Yep, that's right. And it like Stalin, no, not like Stalin. Stalin murdered a bunch of his own people. No, not like Stalin. Not really like Stalin at all, really. This is it. Doesn't sound insane. Yeah, and the thing is that people are so afraid of just kind of accepting this reality that they're willing to contort themselves into positions like supporting this stuff. That's the dumbest comparison. Yeah, it's just stupid. And anyway, yeah, we have people in prison here that shouldn't be here, and we have people that are out of prison that shouldn't be out of prison. That's the reality. Of course, that's what happens. So, yeah, that's absolutely what's going to happen. 100%. Stalin's responsible for killing more than 20 million of his people? Oh, he's an asshole. Yeah, people don't like him. He had a great mustache, though. He did. But that was about it. Anyway, so false imprisonment is 2 to 5%, but not imprisoning anyone affects 100% of people. Well, what I'm saying is that, so a lot of people have problems with effectively, there's a lot of like moral and ethical issues that are trolley problems, where you're effectively choosing who you're going to hurt. And I embrace this. Like, I'm not a very emotional person. So I just look at it from like, how can we do the most good for the most people? And that's it. I just think about it like that. But if you are weak on crime, you hurt more people that are innocent people. And if you're tough on crime, there are some cases where innocent people get put in jail. That's the truth. That you do one or the other. And you've got to pull the lever. Utilitarian ethics can be tricky sometimes. Of course they can be. But yeah, that's the way that I see it. The most good for the most people. Yep, exactly. Police states suck, though. It's not a police state. Don't commit crime. Anyway, so I just wanted to explain that. And I have no problem talking about it in plain English. A lot of people don't want to do that because it doesn't sound good. I don't worry about sounding good, okay? It's just it's just the way it is. And so anyway, we've basically sent over 238 people of this crime organization to the world super jail in El Salvador. These people came straight from America, and we're paying El Salvador now to put them in jail. That's right. Oh. One at a time. The gulag? Yep. See ya. Oh, got one. Oh. Keep his face down, he can't even see anything. Yep. Wow. Man. And by the way, this prison, I'll show y'all a video of this prison. Like, this shit is no joke. Welcome home. Yep. Man. This, by the way, is posted by the president of the country. And this is the super jail. So dramatic. Yeah, it is. Jesus. Man.
César Eliseo Sortomala.
Is this Serbia? No. It's El Salvador.
Easy!
They had it good? Yeah. Uh-oh. Fucking savage. And they put them in these mass cells with like 50 other people. Yeah, they human centipede them. They do. Let me see if I can show you guys. What's it called again? CCOT. This is where they're going.
All right, we're gonna go in here.
Even as I'm stepping through these doors,
En la misma celda.
I don't fully grasp what we're about to walk into. Suddenly, you're hit with the intense gaze
They
of
just have to
dozens
sit there. Look at them all together just sitting there.
locking onto you. These men described as the worst of the worst, tattooed with reminders of El Salvador's dark past. It's tense and uncomfortable. But here, officials say comfort isn't meant to exist.
There's no mattresses, there's no sheets. You've got a toilet over here for them to go to the bathroom. You've got this basin here that they use to bathe themselves. And then you can see there's a barrel of water that they can drink from.
This is a rare look
This is
inside El
savage.
Salvador's terrorism confinement center, known as CECOT.
And he says there's always somebody standing here.
Yeah, like y'all understand. Like, you get sent here, you're done. This is a negative 5-star hotel. Yeah. You thought Guantanamo Bay was bad?
in front of the cells. And then if you look up, there's another corridor with more security personnel.
Yep.
Luz 24 horas. 24/7 light.
The prison sits like an isolated fortress, nestled in mountainous terrain, about an hour-and-a-half drive from the capital. Even with government officials on board with us, we're stopped a mile out.
Damn. So no, ain't nobody
He's
getting
gonna
out.
inspect bags now too. Okay, we're clear to get back in.
Only to hit another checkpoint. Approaching the main gate, our cell signals vanish.
They want to do a full search on us before we enter.
Jesus Christ.
CECOT's director, Belarmino Garcia, greets us
Bienvenido.
and takes us through a rigorous security check.
Wedding ring. So this is like airport security on steroids. Anything that we're carrying with us. Móvil aquí, teléfono. Okay, anything we're carrying with us has to go there. And then there's a body scan that continues on the other side.
This is brutal.
Okay. Shoes off. This one back on.
Why do the prison
Gracias.
guards wear masks? Probably so people can't retaliate against them or figure out who they are or try to figure out like which guard is going to do one thing.
Once cleared, we toured the vast campus, starting with the armory.
He says they have to constantly remind themselves that they're dealing with essentially the worst of the worst.
Jesus Christ.
For that reason, they need to be ready for whatever risks they might face.
Look at that.
It's been equated to 7 football stadiums. It's almost multiple prisons within the prison.
I love how like every American measurement of a large space is just football stadiums. Football fields, football stadiums. That's about it. Yeah.
Off to the distance, there's 3 different rings as they describe. The far end, you have one that's 9 meters high of concrete, and then
Look at
above that, 3 meters of electrified fencing.
15,000 volts.
15,000 volts.
I wonder if they.
More than 1,000 security personnel, guards, police, and military
Here,
are
let me
stationed.
ask a question. Has anybody ever escaped this place? No. No. Yep. That's not happening. It's impossible to escape? Yeah.
On site.
It's like a Metal Gear base?
Inmates
Yeah.
are assigned to one of 8 sectors.
The director tells me the inmates, once they're inside one of these sectors, they never leave. Everything is done within, including doctors, as well as legal visits or court hearings.
Each sector holds more than 24 large cells.
Roughly 80 inmates per cell, but it can fluctuate.
Jesus.
Most bear the markings of the gangs that held this nation hostage for decades, committing brutal acts of violence.
You gotta kill people, you gotta rob, you gotta do what you gotta do to survive.
You have to do those things.
Yeah, you gotta do that.
And if you didn't do those things, you wouldn't.
You wanna be a gangbanger.
We meet 41-year-old Marvin Vasquez,
Yeah?
shackled and heavily guarded.
What gang were you part of?
MS-13.
And do you have any gang affiliations?
Yeah, I'm tattooed up.
¿Es un miembro de la MS?
What is this?
Crazy criminal. Say crazy criminals. Yeah, I made this clique in 2011.
You made the clique.
Yeah,
You were a gang leader.
yeah.
What is it like to live here?
It's probably not a hotel 5-star, but
You gotta respect the guy who has a sense of humor who has to live in this fucking place. Probably not yet.
they give you the 3 times of food. They give you some programs. You go to do exercise.
Ejercicio nosotros lo podemos repetir siempre.
Some church or religion programs too.
But that's limited to just 30 minutes a day. The other 23 and a half hours, they're kept
They're in the
inside
box.
and locked up.
I've seen hamster cages that have more space than that. I've seen like rat experiments that have more space than that.
Inmates who get violent with other prisoners or guards.
Uh-oh. Go in the
We're
box.
going to close the door. I just want to get a sense of. Wow.
Solitary confinement awaits.
The only light you get is through this hole.
Jesus
You can be
Christ.
in here for 15 days, potentially. All right, I'm ready to get out.
Man.
Critics point specifically to the prison's strict control and isolation of inmates, calling it a violation of human rights.
Yeah,
The
probably.
director brought up that a lot of folks will raise concerns from a human rights perspective and an abuse of human rights. That he's calm hearing that because he sees it day to day, the process they go through to maintain, as he sees it, proper punishment.
While you're cut
Yeah,
off
they don't give a shit. Yeah.
from society here, whispers of life on the outside make their way in.
I've heard about it, that it's a new El Salvador, it looks different.
That new El Salvador has emerged under President Nayib Bukele, who took office in 2019 and declared a controversial state of emergency more than 2 years ago. It sparked an aggressive crackdown on crime.
Yeah, basically what this guy did is as soon as he got the office, he just literally mobilized the military to just go in and get all of the gang members. Yep. Just go get them. Martial law? Yep.
We see that firsthand as some 2,500 police and soldiers deploy into one neighborhood.
Is going to go on through the night for however long it takes for them to root out any suspected criminal elements.
Late last week, as the U.S. State Department lowered its travel advisory for El Salvador, citing a significant reduction in crime, it also warned that
Yeah, I bet.
Bukele's emergency measures allow authorities to arrest anyone suspected of gang activity and suspends constitutional rights.
Hola. Juan Carlos, yo soy David.
Juan Carlos tells me he was wrongfully held for 5 months at a lower security prison earlier this year. He says the poor conditions led to an infection in his leg.
Yep.
He said he was lumped in and assumed to be part of a gang. And he said in part because of how he looked, he had long hair. He said he had a long beard. And he says he has tattoos, but he points out that for him, these are just artistic expressions. They have nothing to do with being part of a gang.
The Bukele...
And this is what happens, right? Is that mistakes like this do happen. It does. That's not good. Yeah, no, it's not. Mistakes happen. Yep.
Administration has acknowledged that innocent people have been swept up in the crackdown, and they say more than 7,000 have already been released. They see it as collateral damage. And
they should. That's the right decision to make. Even though it does it and it hurts innocent people, it's better for the greater good, and it's better for most people. It happens in every country. It's worth it. Yeah, it is. Like, it is. And it could be a lot worse. I mean, they're not killing them. They're not making them, they're not harvesting them for organs. They're not using them for medical testing. It could get way worse. It could get a lot worse.
Carlos, while frustrated with the tactics,
it's an evil mindset. People say it's an evil mindset. I think the opposite is the evil mindset. I think the evil mindset is to allow your country to live in fear, in terror of people like this, because you're afraid of making a bad decision. That's the truth. And I understand what you're saying, and there's a degree of truth in it, but you're choosing between two evils.
Under Bukele, his country is safer.
I think that some of the greatest evils are done under the disguise of empathy. They're like, well, let's do this. Yeah, because they aren't even filing them guards. Yeah, the country is a war zone. Hopefully it changes. Yeah. There are more than two choices. No, there's not. Nope. You either go in one direction or another. There's no perfect solution. There never will be.
Is this headquarters for you guys?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Bukele's security minister targets gangs with an academic-like approach.
I heard you have a book. Is it true?
Yeah.
And this is a book that has the markings of gang members.
All the marks.
Oh, no.
The minister compiling his findings from his nearly 30 years in law enforcement to help interpret gang symbols.
Wow, these 3 dots that says signify 3 things to the gang members, that they have 3 destinations essentially: jail, hospital, or cemetery.
From his office, he monitors crime reports in real time and keeps tabs on his officers in the field.
You can say, if there's a particular officer that's in an area that's in question, why were you there so long? What were you doing?
Of course.
And you can hold them accountable.
So what is the crime rate in El Salvador by year? Yep, there it is. Man. Problem solved? Yeah.
Even since the program they've built has started to incorporate AI, which can tell them
where you have to put your police officer.
Brock
yet
is going to
most we
put you
meet
in
seem
jail.
unfazed by the added show of force.
¿Te sientes seguro? Sí, sí. I asked him, I said, how do you feel with all these soldiers? I mean, there's a couple of dozen just even right outside his door. And he said, no, I feel safe.
Man.
I sat next to Jorge Moran on my flight in. His family fled El Salvador's civil war when he was 3.
Just coming to the airport, you feel the sense of like safety, you know?
Do you feel it in the U.S.?
No.
You don't?
No.
And you live in Indiana?
Yes, sir.
Jorge fully supports President Bukele, as do most arriving passengers, it seems.
And folks are actually stopping to get their pictures taken between President Bukele and First Lady.
Man.
Under Bukele's state of emergency, law enforcement have arrested more than 81,000 people. El Salvador now has one of the world's highest incarceration rates. Most end up in facilities like these.
See, yep.
They can work to reduce their sentences.
See, this is what they're going to do. And so we send them over to this place, and then they're fixing cars and doing work. And that way we don't have to pay for it. They make the money back. Slave labor winning? Hey. Shouldn't have been in the gang.
The most hardened criminals, though, brought to Secot, where inside a life sentence awaits.
We did bad things. We pay it the rough way, doing time.
And yet for many on the outside, the prison, now a symbol of newfound freedom, the new El Salvador, as they see it.
That's crazy. Not slave criminal labor? Yep, that's right. That's right. And so that's it. And so basically, we probably can't send American citizens over there. But if somebody not supposed to be here and you're causing trouble, maybe you just go to super jail. Yeah. Yeah, maybe you go to super jail. That's it. And better get your ass out now. Yeah, exactly right. And that's what it is. It saves us money. Yeah, it does. And maybe you should download the app. Yeah, stop doing it. Choose your path wide. They're going to need a bigger jail. Probably not. I mean, honestly, surprisingly good video from CNN. Yeah, absolutely. Would you be supportive of sending them there instead of the death penalty? I don't know. Like, I mean, if we could make more money off of them by sending them over there. Like, I mean, because the thing is with the death penalty, like, I ideologically am totally okay with the death penalty. But it costs a lot of money to do that because there's a lot of due process that's involved with killing somebody. So it's a lot easier to put somebody in jail. So it's the only reason why I'm against the death penalty is because it costs more money than putting them in jail for life. If it was cheaper to just shoot them, and I think that you need to have the due process, right? You need to have the due process. Because if you don't, then you're just shooting people randomly. So, like, if we can get them into jail and make a bunch of money off of them, I feel like that's way better than just shooting them. That's 1,000 times better. And so, yeah, bullets are expensive. No, it's about the process of deciding whether you're going to shoot the bullet. That's the difference. Humans are a resource? Yeah, it's a resource. I agree ideologically, but if we risk even one innocent life to death and it's not worth it, I disagree. That doesn't bother me. I mean, really, there's going to be victims in everything, and you're going to have mistakes. Like, is it really that much different if you're putting a person in jail for life versus if you're, killing them? Not really. I mean, like, I feel like, again, and that's why you have the due process. Yeah, again, with the utopian bullshit, yeah, that's not how the world works, right? And so, is it a huge difference? No, I don't think so. Personally, I don't. And so, yeah, you're retarded? Oh, people don't like that. Yeah, because people that are in for life fought for their freedom because they were innocent quite a few times. Oh, yeah, well, that's why, and again, that's the reason why the amount of, like, checks and things for whether somebody gets the death penalty are extremely high. And that's why I said I support the amount of due process that it has. Because the amount of due process makes sure that, basically beyond a shadow of a doubt, that it's not going to be a random person, right? It's going to be a person who's actually guilty. And so that's the difference. So I support the due process. That's why I'm against the death penalty. I'm against the death penalty from a utilitarian perspective. Morally, I'm not. But utilitarian like it's not an effective use of money, right? And that's it. And so in practice, I don't support it at all. So yeah. Okay, so you're saying it's necessary because necessary than just? Yeah, sure. I thought the plane got turned around, or is that a different one? Apparently they said too late. Yep, they're already there. And so as far as I know, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, that's it.